Alrighty. Technical difficulties. Hopefully. Technical difficulties. Hopefully we are back online here. Are the interruption. Looks like we are rolling again. That is very strange. I just killed everything. So hopefully we are good from here. Killed and restarted everything, that is. So, cool. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. I built up and killed myself in that game. Because I was like, I don't really care about this game. I do care, however, about the stream. It's okay, as long as we're, yeah, looks like we are back in action. Let's see. Dope. Okay, so, part 2. Part 2. So, anyways, for anybody who joined late, I'll recap. So, today I'm talking about the plan. What I mean by the plan is the plan, the winning plan, as in the project, content creation stuff, you know, kind of my plan from day one on what I was trying to accomplish, strategies I've used to organize from day one, things I'm still trying to use and implement, and a very, very quick recap because I don't want to keep going through all this stuff, but definitely get a very detailed plan, a business plan almost, as if you were going to pitch to a bank or something like that for a loan on a real business, which your venture might be a real business, but at least for me, mine's certainly not yet a real business. This is a side project, just something I'm doing for fun and to get content out there. But write out a business plan like you were going to pitch to investors. It will help you organize yourself, write down some things that make you unique, which that's something else that I would say should be one of your early steps, is find a way to differentiate yourself from your competition, whether it's real estate or being a Twitch streamer or maybe doing a food truck. Find out a way that you can differentiate yourself, something that makes you unique, different from all your competition. For me, mine on that front was, there are a lot of Twitch streamers out there that are really good at gaming, and that's it. They're like, oh, check me out, I'm the best. I'll tell you right now, I'm not the best. Whether it's Fortnite that I'm playing right now, or Rocket League, or any other game I play in the future, I am not the best. So if you want to watch the best, go watch somebody else. But my differentiation strategy was, nobody else is talking about self-improvement strategies and focusing on any sort of business topic from what I know. I'm sure there are, but your everyday streamer isn't doing exactly what I'm doing. So he's probably gonna come around this corner. Get closer so I can catch the visual audio. Yep, there he is. So my differentiation was, here are some self-improvement and self-development strategies that can, of course, apply to pretty much any competitive environment. So that's what I wanted to use to set myself apart from the rest of the Twitch streaming world. It's both the business aspect of who I am that I have to offer, because there aren't a whole lot of, you know, people who have, there are probably plenty, but there aren't, at least from what I know, a whole lot of people who talk about business concepts on their Twitch stream, or self-improvement concepts on their Twitch stream. It's like, hey, I'm funny, I'm entertaining, I'm good at the game, whatever, and that's it. And there are tons of those, but this was the way for me to set myself apart. So whatever venture it is that you are undertaking, find a way to set yourself apart from the competition. The next one was start. You start doing it. Get your reps in. Don't pay attention to any sort of following or how many viewers you have or how many likes you're getting on posts, whatever. Focus on putting the work in, do the thing, whatever the thing is. Just do whatever it is that you're talking about, and practice, and critique yourself and improve yourself. Let's put that here. Focus on that for, honestly, probably the first 3 months. Stay organized and find out ways to switch things up. And that brought us to the last, topic that I was talking about, which was, remember. It'll either come to me or I'll move on. Right, I'll pop this guy. Regardless of whatever it was that I was talking about. Next thing I would say is good practice is finding a mentor or somebody who is doing whatever it is you're already doing that either you can learn from or you can just watch and learn from. It doesn't necessarily have to be a one-on-one coaching session every week. I still watch a lot of streamers that I look up to in the streaming world. I do have six. And I watch them and try to either take out new ideas or learn things from them whenever I can. And in any realm, that is a great idea. Just learn from people who are already doing whatever it is you want to be doing. Alright, I can switch this out here. Grab these. Racking my brain to try to remember what it was I was talking about right before the stream cut out. If any of y'all remember, let me know. But yeah, so my plan has been to do a lot of that stuff I mentioned a second ago. I have made a very, very strong point to not overplug. There's a certain amount of plugging, or advertising your other social media platforms or asking for like, following, subscribing. A certain amount of that needs done, but don't overdo it. Don't continue to do it down the road. Once people have heard it a couple of times, they're going to be tired of hearing it. At least I can speak from my perspective, being a person who has watched a lot of Twitch streamers. I get tired of hearing it. So don't overplug. If your content's good and what you're putting out there is good, people will follow, people will like and subscribe and all that jazz. So focus on doing that. Focus on getting content out there. Focus on improving your funniness or the quality of your product or whatever, and the other stuff will come. Definitely folks fine up there. Quality reps, yeah, okay, cool. Right on. Hold that thought. I'd really like to get a dub at some point today. I'm gonna probably catch a little storm damage here. Maybe not. Maybe not much, at least. It's risky. I hit it. Nice. Get ahead of it a little bit. Need to use my augments. Ooh, that leads so watching and learning from other good folks is a great one. That leads me into another one I absolutely wanted to talk about. And this was one of the things that that the video that I watched last week. Again, watched a video that was basically 32 tips for new Twitch streamers from some veteran guy. He had a lot of good stuff in there. Was watch your own shit. Like, watch your streams or look at your content or, you know, taste your own food. I don't care what venture it is that you're diving into. Test your product. So for me, I've watched all of my old live streams, every single one of them, start to finish. And if I do stuff that's silly or see stuff that, you know, was less than satisfactory, I make note of it. And I make note to try to fix it. And, you know, I try to take clips from every stream. But I watch it and I listen to it to make sure that I'm getting a pulse for any changes that are needed. So, I'm not going to fight him yet until I get all these. Yep, fine. Nope. Don't care about either of those. Sure, whatever. So yeah, self-critique and, you know, view or watch or participate in your own product, I think is a huge one. Which is something that I think, honestly, one of the first streams I did, I either talked a lot about or it was like the topic for it was, you know, self-critiquing and self-improving by, you know, checking out your own stuff and working on whatever your weaknesses are. But I've done that in every competitive environment, every competitive thing that I've ever done. Oh, that's bad for me. Oh, he's above me. Oh no. He is so low. Here we go. Why am I stuck? Where are you coming from? Okay, looks like we're all just resetting. I'll participate in that. Sure, no problem. Oh. Oh boy. Alright, heal up while I'm walking here. Alright, I'm gonna edit it out here, harvest this. Get that back. Everything's reloaded. I'm as high health-wise as I can be for now. Oh, uncrouch, thank you. What's up there? Okay, just wanted to piss him off a little bit and hopefully make him cool out while I run away. post up here. Is he still back? Yeah, he's still back there. Shoot. I'll run over here. Go all the way down here. Around this mountain on the other side. And I will catch up on chat in 1 second. Here's a nice crevasse. Another thing that helps is a ton of engagement with other creators. Absolutely. I constantly look at what I make and see where I can improve. I'm definitely my own worst and best critic. Yes, for sure. I think that I talked about that last part specifically in one of my early streams as well, is be your own best critic and your own cheerleader at all times. There has to be a balance. If you tip that balance one way too far one way or the other, either on the criticism or the cheerleading part of things, you can either give yourself too much grace and slow your progress, or give yourself too much criticism and hurt your positivity and just give yourself, you know, a bad view of yourself and your content. Get down on yourself, which that's certainly not healthy either. So find that balance of good and bad critiquing. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. Go up here. Get all this. Hold up. Chill for a second. Seems like there's a lot going on here. Engagement with other creators, yeah, absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with that. You got to think, if you're, you know, starting out in something like this, you got to think that there are likely other people who are also starting out, and the more y'all can lock arms and band together, you can very easily gain followers that way. You can find people who you can collaborate with on things like, you know, maybe they're an artist. This would be a familiar one there, Mr. Wubshots. Maybe find someone who's an artist that can help you out with certain art-related things, and maybe a streamer who can either give advice or entertainment or whatever. I mean, collaborating in any industry is huge. That's why there are partnerships between, like, movie companies and companies like Pepsi, where they do sponsorships and things like that. Maybe it's, you know, maybe it's an art and a music collaboration where you could get some background audio for free that somebody would normally be trying to charge for, and you help do art for them. So there are lots of those things. And even outside of the collaboration and partnership, any new creator, new streamer, most of the time those folks are looking for new followers and new people to engage with on social media, and you can at least get some easy follows out of, hey, following a new page in your industry and saying, love your stuff. And you don't even have to mention, I've got a page too, check me out. Oh, hello. Holy cow. What did he hit me with? That was devastating. This is going to be a tough endgame, I can already tell. Get back here. Oh, whoa. Hello. Hi there. Yep. Pay attention to one of the other 9 people over here. Nice. Just gonna burn all my mats. Gotta get out of here. Hey, how are ya? Oh, I hit him so hard. Come on, edit, you idiot. I don't know why he's not. I don't know why he's fighting the way that he is. Okay, I'm gonna leave him there. Dude. My game is bugging out and making me auto heal. That's actually kind of awesome, but very strange. Whoa! See ya! About to die is what I was gonna say. Use this. Get the heck out of here! I'm about to die. Very close. I love winning that fight. Let's go, baby. Love it. I got his hammer too. That's good news. Do not have hardly any mats, which is very unfortunate. I really hope that there's nobody around. Speak of the devil. Push this kid because hopefully he has some heals or something. See ya. Nope, need that. No, 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 no. Damn it. It's alright, that's close. I didn't really have any other choice, honestly. So close. Another second place to add to the night. I don't know where he went. I feel like I should have hit him. He probably just like edited down. Good play. Probably should have taken that a little bit slower. What's new? But whatever. Definitely glad I got those last couple kills. Oh boy. Alright, so jump back on the plan. As for some of the long-term stuff, again, the short-term stuff for me is all to just get started, get all my pages up to speed, get in the flow of streaming, watching, clipping, posting clips, get ready for the next stream, which has kind of been my plan over the last couple weeks. I've gotten a pretty decent flow with that, where the first couple weeks it was like, oh, there's so many things to manage. I've got so many things going on. Gotta do this, and then gotta do this, and gotta do this. Well, now I'm to the point, luckily, where it's kind of like, yeah, there's a lot to manage here, but all the pages are sort of up to speed. I mean, I've got the bios done. I've got, you know, the schedule put out there, where some folks are used to the schedule. So a lot of that stuff is pretty easy. It's also been pretty easy for me to finish a stream, immediately export it to YouTube, and then either late that night, once my computer's caught up with the export, either late that night or the next day at some point, just go through and slowly watch the stream. You know, if it's a longer one, I sort of break it up where I'm not going to sit down for 3.5 hours and watch my stream and pull clips and critique and stuff like that. I'll just hit play, do a little bit of it, hit pause, go do something else, and then get those clips, you know, clipped and also uploaded onto some of the social media stuff. So I've got into a routine where it's a lot easier. And again, that's just the important part of hitting it early and hitting it hard, or hitting it hard early, where that's why I'm pretty much 50 hours deep in January. Went from not streaming at all in December to almost 50 hours, I think. I don't even know where it's at, but only reason it's like that is because, you know, and I'm in a decent groove, is because I have hit it hard, and I have tried to be consistent and try to stay on top of things. So that's most certainly a good strategy to implement if you're doing something similar to, you know, where you're trying to get something off the ground. Just I have one build now. I still need a gun. Where are all the guns? Oh my goodness, dude. Hi, a gun! Look at that! See ya. Oh, I missed. I missed again. Goodness. Ugly, ugly. Hot drop, hot drop. Okay, I can get rid of this. Switch this over here. Boom, that there. Yada yada. I can get rid of this and pick up this. Lovely. Heals. Some ammos. Oh. Not this. Okay. As well, take that. I guess there is. I thought there was other stuff down here. Maybe not. Alright, I'm tired of having full gold, so I'm gonna run up in here. Upgrade. I'm just gonna run both of these. Not sure if it's a mistake or not. Purple. And I can run down here. All this gold I left all over the place. Yep, some more here. There should be some more down there, yep. Here. Boom. Some there. Take you. And there's a blue shotgun. Lovely. Oh well. Oh, hi. Hello. No. Nice try. This, pick up the extra, swap this, that. I'll swap this for that, because I don't even want that stupid gun. Oh boy. Party. Did he hit me? No, I must just not have been at full. Sheesh. Should probably get a half pot or a pig. So, get that out. First of the month tomorrow. Any continuous goals? First of the month is Wednesday there, big boy. Yeah. First of the month, Wednesday. Any continuous goals or new ones for February? Yeah, I really like to get to at least, you know, I'm not trying to pay attention to too much to this, but I still have, you know, some benchmarks, you know, I think that I'm trying to keep track of. I'd like to hit 50 Twitch subs. I'd really like to get some more solid clips accumulated. I think I've got some good ones, but I don't think there are a whole lot of like mind-blowing ones or any that are worthy of like not blowing up, but like getting much of any attention on social media. So I would like to get that under my belt, just get some more, you know, some more good stuff accumulated. So maybe, you know, a handful more Fortnite dubs on stream. I've got a couple, but you know, they weren't really mind-blowing or anything. So, a couple of really good plays, and or some more followers on social media. And then for myself, I mean, just some work-related goals. You up in here, and then I can pop you. But beyond that, no, honestly, not a whole lot of, at least not goals that have changed from January. You know, I've still got some of my personal goals on like getting back into the gym and working on some of the, you know, habit-related stuff, like toning down the drinking and some of that stuff, but just kind of continuing on the path that I'm on, I guess, is the main focus for me for February. But I definitely plan on being consistent. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm doing it. See, I think I can just jump up here at the same time. But yeah, more of the same, I guess, is the moral of that story, and the answer to that question is just continuing to do what I've been doing the last couple months. I'm starting to get into a groove, so I want to make sure I stay in it. Oh man, there was a topic that I popped into my head. I forgot. Oh, I'd say, so this is one that I think is really big for me in the plan, if you will. And this is something that, you know, is my personal opinion, and I'm no expert, so take it with a grain of salt. But I have tried to make a point from day one to be real. I think that that is a big differentiator for me with the other Twitch streamer community. Because I feel like there are a lot of carbon copy people out there. There are a lot of people who are good at the game, and they're young, and they're somewhat good looking, and they're, you know, entertaining, and their whole thing is just like, oh, I'm gonna take whatever Twitter, the funny phrase on Twitter is nowadays, and I'm just gonna say that all the time. I don't even know what they are because I know I don't participate in Twitter much at all. But like a couple of the big streamers that I watched for a long time, I stopped watching them because it wasn't anything of their own original stuff. Like they just picked the current funny thing that everybody's saying on social media, or some quote from, you know, they're quoting TV shows, movies and stuff, and like that's their whole thing. And I'm like, none of this is even yours. Like, again, you're not any different from anybody else that I can go watch. spot, but I still wanted to use it as practice to try to hit people with this thing. But yeah, it's be real. So like, I mean, you know, not even be yourself, but I don't want to like censor certain things about me because like I don't want people to know them. Like I'm an open book, dude. Like I'll answer whatever question somebody might have, and that's not, you know, if you want to ask me questions, feel free, but it's not like a here's an ask me anything bit. I wanted to be very, very different. So I don't care what the current strategy or the relevant, you know, quote from this week is or whatever everybody else is saying. I don't care. I almost want to know what it is so that I don't do it. Because, you know, again, I think that they're in a market like Twitch streaming where it's so competitive, and again, any market nowadays is going to be very competitive. Whatever's working for anybody else is working for everybody else. So if you go do it, it's like, yeah, sure, somebody might prefer your delivery or just like you or like, you know, something in particular about you that would compel them to follow or to continue participating in your streams or whatever. But I would caution you in whatever venture you're trying to pursue. Don't just be like everybody else. Don't just take and, you know, absorb whatever the current thing is that everybody's talking about and just do that. Like, do something different, man. Do something different. Everybody, you know, is unique and has something to offer that nobody else can. And I think the more that you portray that and you embrace it and, you know, put that stuff out there in your content or business, whatever it is, it's going to go better for you. So don't just follow the crowd and do whatever everybody else is doing. Be you, be unique, be real. You know, don't be afraid to talk about real concepts. Some people are afraid to address certain topics because, you know, they don't want people to know certain things about them. In my opinion, if that's how you're gonna be, like, go do something else, you know? If you're gonna be an insurance and investment broker, yeah, sure. Maybe people shouldn't find out about, you know, your former alcohol addiction and your 2 DUIs or whatever. I don't have any of that, so I'm not saying that as an example of myself, but I'm just saying pick and choose your battles, and if you're in an industry or a thing, you know, an adventure that you do need to censor, then please censor. But for me, with my Twitch project and content creation project, I wanted to be real. I don't want everyone to think that you know, my shit don't stink and that I'm some, you know, borderline perfect guy. Just a guy. I think the more real that I can be... Alright, screw this. I don't even care what it is. I'm rolling this nonsense. The more I can be real and be myself, the better I think people will receive whatever I'm doing. The more lessons I think I can teach people. I'm not going to be able to teach anybody lessons if I don't talk about any of my failures or admit defeat or admit shortcoming, you know, when it happens. I'm going to be real. Is this guy shooting at somebody back here? Like he was. Push? Doesn't look like it. Alright, I've got a hammer and I've got to get up into... Is this in? It is. I need to see, is this in? That is as well. That's where I'm going. Up here. Oh my goodness, dude, I hate this. Some of the grid stuff, whenever it messes you up, is very frustrating. And now about to get blasted. Luckily, he's far away from me. prepared to edit out and get the heck out of here. Yep, this happens. Woo! Close one. Where's our third guy, huh? Where's Mr. Third Man standing? I know that this guy's over here just being a nuisance, but... I was hearing my own footsteps, lol. Okay. Get down here a bit more. Hold up. Ah, he's down there. Okay, good to know. Storm at least. That'll probably kill him. I got one more shot left here. And my Deku smash at least. I guess that guy must have survived. He's got a chug cannon, so I guess it makes sense. Oh, he's right back on the same spot. I'm gonna try to save this for the last guy. Tired of this game. Need to build a better routine for myself. Been feeling lost lately in my days. I feel you, dog. It'll happen for sure. I was definitely guilty of that in December, so I'm with you. I'll holla at you. And Mr. Webshots Media, thanks for tuning in, my man. I will talk to you soon. I'm very sure of that. Appreciate you popping on for a little bit. All right, I'm taking another bathroom break. Maybe play one more game. I'm not sure yet. This is starting to get a little annoying. But BRB. All right, dope. A couple things to add to the play-in conversation. So, first off, no matter what venture you might have in mind, or what you're working at, I think it's important to think about the fact that all practice is good practice. So how that applies to the winning project, at least, is I knew from day one whether or not this goes off, or takes off rather, goes anywhere, this is going to be good practice for me. Whether it's just with video creation or talking on a camera, any sort of that stuff, it's all good practice. So that's why I think, again, it's so important to just start. Obviously, it's a good idea to have a good plan before you start, but don't feel like you've got to have all your ducks in a row before launching any sort of project or side business. Just do it. You might learn something that could apply to your job or to you as a person. And to add to that, I actually started a YouTube page years ago. Probably, it was at least 6 years ago. And I only got about 4 episodes deep before I either got distracted or kind of just lost interest. But that has most certainly applied to the winning project. So had I not done that and at least kicked off some sort of adventure or project back in the day, I probably would have had a further learning curve, or maybe just not been able to produce as high a quality, not that this is high quality, but as high of quality as what I'm doing nowadays. So I launched this plan and this project with the plan that this might not go anywhere. Who cares? I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to try it out and see if I can learn some things and use it as a tool to just improve myself. So would certainly encourage everybody to keep that stuff in mind if you are thinking about starting some sort of side business or adventure. Just do it and know that it can very likely help you learn stuff. If you're focusing on learning stuff and just creating content at the beginning, you're going to win. It's going to be beneficial. Yeah, I don't care if it ever takes off, if you never get a single follower or viewer or like on any of your stuff, no matter what sort of thing you're trying to create, I don't care. If you're doing it and you're practicing and improving it, you're going to learn stuff that can apply to other areas of your life. So that was part of my plan, is I'm going to use this as a tool and just focus on doing it as opposed to tracking progress and, you know, all that jazz. And another thing is don't feel like you've got to have everything put together and perfect before you do it. You know, I talk to a lot of people because I have tried side businesses and little projects in the past. You know, some folks have reached out to me for advice on starting their little project here and there, and you know, it's things like, well, what do you think my logo should be, or what do you think the name should be, or what do you think, da 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 da, and they're talking about these detail things that really don't matter for the short term. I mean, obviously, you want to make sure you've got some of that stuff tightened up in the long run, but for your first week of streaming, or your first week of having a food truck, or your first week of doing art creation, or your first week of doing dance videos, don't worry about your name. Don't worry too much about your bio. Don't worry about having a merch collection created and ready to go in 3 months, all this stuff. Just worry about the basics and get started. And you can tweak along the way from there, because as you start creating and you start getting going, some things will come to you that you can use. But if you sit around just thinking all day, you're not setting yourself up for success. You're not going to force yourself to get some ideas flowing. So get started. Don't wait until you have everything picture perfect. Just start and make sure you're making tweaks along the way. So that's been something big for me, as I know that a lot of this is going to get better. My equipment's going to get better. My setup's going to get better. The stream presentation is going to get better over time. But for the short term, my concern is to, again, get reps in and start going and start to build a following and start to get comfortable with everything. And I'll worry about all the other detailed stuff later. 2 scars, very helpful. Thank you. All right. I'd like to see if I get some minis before I pop this big pot, but we'll see. Nice. Ask and you shall receive, eh? I can get maybe like multiple of one thing. No, alright, I'm not gonna worry about it. Yep, that's why. Okay. Well, maybe check this garage over here just to make sure there's not any extra loot, and there isn't other than this. So anyways, that kind of captures a lot of the initial setup plan. For the long term, as I slowly start to wrap the stream up, my plan is to continue to just stick with my current schedule and find new ways to improve the stream quality and stream content. I would like to, at some point in the long term, and again, this is something that I think is a good idea for everybody to have in mind if you've got something you're working on, but not something that you need in order to get started. But for me, the long term, I mean, if in a couple of years I've got a decent following, or things have taken off in any way, shape, or form, I would really love to start branching out outside of just streaming and get involved in things like public speaking events. Again, keep in mind, talking about long term here. So I know some of this stuff sounds absurd. And we'll see if it ever comes to fruition. I'm confident that that I can make it happen, and it's going to take a lot of time and work and, you know, effort. But my long-term plan is to use this winning streaming content creation platform to branch out into things like talking in business environments, doing videos that help either new or growing streamers or athletes or whatever. So get some stuff maybe going on LinkedIn, do some coaching related things where I can have a special guest and do individual sessions on, hey, you know, tell me something you're passionate in and let's together discuss some ways that you can improve it and some things that you're currently doing to improve it, and maybe, you know, help folks like that make some tweaks on it. Maybe talk about some mindset related things on, hey, if you're serious about this, I need you to think about XYZ this way. And can't believe you just hit me. Alright, you know what, buddy? Take that. 3 of those, that should heal me up. Give me this. So yeah, I'd love to branch out into some of those arenas at some point down the road. That's all, of course, depending on the process and how long everything takes to kind of get going and get off the ground. I'd love to do some merch-related things. That's most certainly not going to be my main focus, but part of the reason that I worked so hard on the logo and the brand itself is because I wanted something that could be long-term marketable for things like merch or training programs, for things like, you know, sales or you know, 10 helpful tips for competitive environments, whatever. I wanted something that would be marketable in some of those things. So yeah, I tried to really work hard on the initial creation of the brand and make sure that I was forming the brand around the idea, not the other way around, picking a brand name and then focusing everything on that. So I wanted to do step 1, get the plan and get the idea down, and then step 2, curate everything else around it. So yeah, I'd really like to get into some of those things. I mean, if in 5 years... screw it, I'm gonna do this. If in 5 years things have taken off, then maybe somebody would be willing to have me in as a public speaker type of thing, and willing to listen to me in a coaching session, or have me come in and talk to a sales team, or um, do private classes, like a private live streaming group on, hey, if you want to improve your stream, check out this session, or check out this video, or this class, whatever. So I'd love to be able to branch into some of that stuff. That is the long-term goal. Far, far, far down the road. But I wanted to start formulating some of the long-term stuff in the short term, so that it'll kind of give me some direction and some reasons to keep going. I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind for any competitive environment. I talk about this in the sales world a lot, about how it is hard sometimes on a day-to-day basis to keep motivated and to pick the phone up time and time again when it's not going well, and all these things. So it's super important to have, in the business world we call it a why. It's like, why are you doing this? What is it deeper than just loving sales, or loving Twitch streaming, or loving art, or loving cooking if you're doing a restaurant or a cooking business? What is it on a deeper level that gets you out of bed in the morning and gets you going and gets you excited and inspired? So for me, some of the long-term stuff can help me stay motivated on the short-term stuff, like the weekly live streams, and push me to maybe play another couple extra games like I have tonight, where I'm pushing beyond that 2-hour time window. Sit down and figure out what it is for you that can help you bridge that gap of, I don't feel like doing this today, but I know I want to, for the long-term health and success of my adventure. Figure out what it is for you. Okay. I guess as kind of a final talking point on our topic for the plan, and the biggest, most important thing that I have tried to keep in mind from day one is why I'm doing this on the deepest possible level, which for me is my desire to help, inspire and educate and entertain people. That is by far the biggest reason that I have started and am determined to keep going, is hopefully at some point, if I'm able to cultivate some sort of a following and get some folks interested in what I'm doing, I hope that I can help people better themselves, improve in competitive environments. If I can have a couple of people at some point, years and years down the road, say, hey, you gave me this tip on one of your streams way back in the day, and I used that to my baseball career, and that really helped me keep going, or really helped me switch things up and help me take things to the next level. Boom, makes it all worth it for me. So I'd love to be able to just help, give people ideas on how to improve themselves, and how to just how to, like I said, improve and what's happening here? Thank you. The chests keep bugging into the ground. It's so annoying. Even beyond that, improving in any sort of a competitive environment. I mean, I'm hoping that some of the stuff that I talk about can help out in people's personal lives, and especially things like personal finance and some of these relational things that I'll go through at some point. Not necessarily a relationship like a significant other, but some things that I plan to talk about down the road will apply to your interpersonal relationships, and just how to have healthy relationships, how to meet new people and build relationships, all that stuff. So if I can, in some way, shape, or form help folks in those realms. That makes it all worth it, and that's what I'm doing all this stuff for. So yeah, hopefully today was helpful, and hopefully some of this other stream stuff has been helpful to you guys. So if not, let me know how I can improve, or if I should quit. That was one of the other things that this guy talked about on this this stream tip video I watched last week. Is if you're not meant for something, don't try to force it. Everybody's not meant for streaming. Everybody's not meant to be a professional basketball player. I think it's important to really try and work hard and stick with stuff and learn and grow. But if after 2 years I haven't really gained any followers and I don't really have anything that's popping off, that's a time for me to take a step back and take a break and look at what I'm doing. Why is it not working? Why am I not accomplishing what I'm trying to accomplish? And find out if this is something that I think is really a good idea. So I think it's a good idea to be aware of that and to be self-critical, as we talked about a little bit ago, to make sure that you're not wasting your time. You know, it'd be awful if 5% of the young adults in the world, they get turned on to this streaming thing and everybody's streaming and everybody's just wasting their time. When people aren't putting out good content and nothing really good's happening, if you're not learning from stuff and you're not making good content, hey, I love you, but you know, maybe it's time for me to, or time for you to find a different thing to do. Narrowly escaped that. Come on, dude. Let's go. Oh man, he's gonna get me. How is he not dead yet? I don't know how he just hit that shot. Alright, that's enough for me tonight. That's frustrating. Still my fault, but man, this has been a tough evening. On the sticks, as most of them have been, so. If I were a competitive gamer, now would be the time for me to take a step back and evaluate, like, is this really going to work for me? And the answer would most certainly be no. Was not built for the full-on competitive arena. I'm decent. I can make some plays, hit some shots here and there, but I was not cut out for the long haul of competitive gaming and sitting in front of my computer for 8 to 10, or computer or TV for 8 to 10 hours a day. So I've got the self-awareness to look at that and say, this ain't for me. Let me pivot. And I have pivoted to streaming and content creation, so. Oh, goodness. Right on, guys. Well, I hope tonight was helpful in some way, shape, or form. I appreciate everybody tuning in for episode 5 of the Monday All Business stream. Tonight's All Fortnite stream. I will likely have a new controller ready to rock and roll so I can play Rocket League again on the next couple of streams. But in the meantime, feel free to check all of the clips and everything out on socials if you'd like. The replays are on YouTube. Of course, this one will be on later this evening, so everything is still coming down the pipeline for you guys in case you'd like to check things out on the back end. But appreciate everybody tuning in on the live stream for tonight. And we will be back in action as scheduled on Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, for another Hump Day Hangout, as we're referring to them now. So I will see you guys on the Hump Day Hangout stream here in just a couple days. Stay warm. Talk to everybody in February. Have a good evening.